speaker today is Dmitry Godunov. Dmitry has joined us today from Geneva, where he's UNCTAD ASYCUDA Regional Coordinator for Central East Europe, the Caucasus and Central North Asia. I know Dmitry has spent 5 years in my own country of Ireland, and he has over 20 years' experience in international diplomacy, trade facilitation, financial negotiations, WTO accession, and regional integration. Since 2009, Dmitry has been working on UNCTAD ASYCUDA program, dealing with, among other areas, advocacy of customs reforms and trade facilitation around the world. He oversees projects on implementation of e-declaration systems, national single windows, e-certification, cross-border data exchange, regional transit, and e-commerce. Please welcome Dmitry from Geneva. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Trevor. Thank you for presenting me, and I hope I will be good enough this morning. So let me thank ESCAP for inviting me to today's session and to Bangkok, and let me thank all panelists for very interesting and exciting presentations this morning. Allow me to start with drawing your attention to the UN Global Survey on Digital and Sustainable Trade Facilitation and Digital and Sustainable Trade Facilitation Global Report produced in 2023. So this report was produced by UN regional commissions like UNESCAP and sister agencies, and UNCTAD also contributed to this report. The good news is that despite geopolitical and regional tensions, despite supply chain disruptions, despite all challenges, countries continue to improve trading environment by simplifying and digitalizing trade processes. With digitalization on the rise, paperless trade has improved the most over the last 2 years, meaning that things are quite good. So, as a representative of UN trade and development, I can proudly say that nothing can stop trade, and nothing can stop the digitalized trade in particular. Of course, developing countries, LDCs, they're facing challenges, and they still need technical assistance, capacity buildings, and different types of support. And our organizations stands ready to help them in this. So my first slide is to present UNCTAD's biggest technical assistance program called ASYCUDA. 40 years ago, it was founded as a small subunit in our organization. Basically, the idea was to develop a system developed by customs officers for customs officers. So it started as a small software for 1, 2, 3 countries, and over the last 40 years, it has been expanded to 102 countries, different categories of countries, big countries, smaller countries, small island, LDCs, LLDCs. We are talking about thousands, tens of thousands of trade users. We are talking about tens of millions customs declarations processed yearly. We are talking about billions of governmental revenues. And also, in this digital ecosystem, there are tens or even hundreds of different types of electronic documents. You name me any document, and we can say that it's already done, it's already developed, and it's already available for the member states. Either it's export or import or whatever documents related to e-declarations or single window components, electronic phytosanitary veterinary certificates, or special models for agricultural goods or for mineral resources exports, or for passengers, or for e-commerce support, for special categories of traders, for e-CITES, for humanitarian goods. So all these are already there. And we are proud to say that it's done by countries. We are helping countries to do it, and countries did it themselves, because in our project teams, we have customs officers, we have IT experts coming from the ground. So we train them and they do it themselves. As if the subject of today's session is about cross-border trade, I should mention that there are several different options which, as I said, already developed, piloted, and operational in our user countries. There are solutions for bilateral cross-border data exchange from customs administrations to another customs administrations. There are solutions for data exchange within regional customs union. Either it's between countries using the same platform, like ASYCUDA, which, for example, was done in SIGMAT, or customs data exchange between ASYCUDA user country like Kazakhstan and the Eurasian Economic Union. Or it can be also a solution between customs administration of ASYCUDA user countries like Georgia and the European Union. Here we are talking about NCTS, New Computerized Transit System. Or it can be solutions related to data exchange between maritime shippers and customs administrations, which is called IC-Hub in our language. Or it can be solutions for e-commerce operators, either for postal declarations or for express carriers like DHL, FedEx, and other type of things. So as I said, all these solutions are already in place, not in all countries which I mentioned before, but in some countries they are successfully piloted, they are operational, and they are in place. So things are quite good for the moment. Still, countries are facing certain challenges in implementing cross-border data exchange. Part of these challenges are related to national strategies. If we ask governments about digitalization, in each and every government, they will say, yes, it is important, let's do some digitalization. But many of them, they don't have this focused strategy, what exactly they are going to do. Another challenge is related to a lack of legal framework. In order to exchange data across the borders, they should have agreements, not only agreement about customs cooperation, but technical protocol about set of data which should be exchanged, or about mutual recognition of supporting documents, electronic certificates of origin, or digital signatures, these type of things. Also, data exchange formats are different between regions. Yes, there is a WCO data model which we promote. We have now a new version of WCO data model, but sometimes different regions, they still tend to apply their own data exchange formats, which is also a challenge. Multiplicity of ICT solutions is another challenge for the countries to select what would they prefer. As I say, we have countries using ASYCUDA platform, we have countries using other platform. For example, today we have all distinguished speakers, each of them represents its own platform, but there are dozens of other solutions, and from private sector, from different entities, NGOs, they come to the government, they say, take our solution, we are the best, and sometimes it's difficult for countries to select what exactly to choose. And sometimes they launch in parallel several projects, several pilots, and at the end, the outcome are not that brilliant because they do in parallel duplicating things. Human capacity, this is a standard challenge for the governmental entities. Generally speaking, the level of IT expertise in countries is quite good, but it's a challenge for governmental entities to keep good IT experts within the administration due to salary levels and due to lack of incentives. Finally, ICT capacity, hardware networking is also a challenge. The way we help countries, we provide advice. We provide advice regarding to strategies, legal advice on how to sign these technical protocols with other countries. We promote international standards, international models of data exchange. We advocate more systemic approach in ICT developments. We train experts. And finally, we provide technical advice on minimum ICT requirements. Sometimes when countries say they don't have ICT equipment, it's not correct, because when we provide minimal technical requirements and we verify together their stocks, we very often we discover that in fact they do have enough equipment at least to do the first pilot, and then to gain time before procuring something bigger. So this is what